there. Here we are. Yes, okay, now the mic is working. Hello, viewers. Past, present, and future. Hello, Purple. Welcome back to the stream. So good to have you back. I actually wanted to start a little bit early just for you, Purple, because I know you usually have to split pretty soon, so different time zones and all that. So I figured, why not? Yeah, just start a bit early. I was still making some coffee, so that was going on. And Purple says BRB already. Okay, fair enough. And nice background music. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Some of the Animal Crossing stuff. I think it's new Leaf stuff almost exclusively. I think I have some of the music queued up from the original game as well. But yeah, I'm trying to go as calm as possible today. Some nice, easy listening. And that's the theme of the stream. It's beach week. We all get to relax and have a nice time just hanging out, because I don't know about how everyone else has been doing, but lately I've just really felt the sudden need for some kind of break from the routine and the work stuff, and it would be really nice to go on an actual vacation. I don't really do vacations. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm so borderline dehydrated today, but there it is. Yeah, I'd love to go on an actual vacation. Probably not like a beachy tropical island kind of vacation, though, just because, honestly, here in Southern California, I feel like it's close enough. It's definitely not actually tropical, but it's close enough where I'm like, I want something different in terms of terrain, land formations, climate, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Where would I even want to go? Somewhere way up into the mountains. That would be fun. Down here in Southern California, we have Ojai, for example, which is a lovely spot. Small town, very wealthy, the people who actually live there, but it's really gorgeous just in terms of the natural stuff happening there. So yeah, that would be a nice trip. Or like, I don't know, this time of year, I guess there's some places that are still getting snow, but I wouldn't mind that. I haven't really been around snowy kinds of conditions for years, so I think that would be a good time too. Anyway, here we are doing the stream. As for what, the emphasis here is really just going to be chatting, so we'll just talk to whoever shows up while I have my coffee, etc. But also, I don't know, in terms of like stuff to put on the screen, we'll figure it out. I have today's Wordle pulled up. I don't know if anybody plays Wordle, but it's not bad. I'm not very good at it, and it really does depend on like your own guesses. You sort of shape the course of each game of Wordle through your own guesses and mistakes and such. So it's interesting in that way. It's different from like the difficulty of a crossword puzzle or word scramble. Does anyone still make those? But anyway, these are the rules if you're not familiar. We're going to try to do this together with whoever shows up. I might not even do any guesses of my own. I'll just let people in the chat do some guesses for Wordle. But basically, it has to be a 5-letter word. And to start out, you guess just any 5-letter word there is. And through each guess, green means, a green highlighted letter means that you got the right letter and it's in the right position. Yellow means that the letter is in the word somewhere, but not necessarily in that position at all. And then a grayed out letter just means, nope, nice try, but that letter's not in the word at all. And you get 6 guesses total. I usually get it by like, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5. 5 on the really bad days for sure. But yeah, but I don't know, that first guess is very important, so maybe I'll hold off for a bit or wait for someone to suggest a first guess, and in the meantime I will just Yeah, just take it easy. That's my job, right? As a streamer person, you just kind of relax on camera and everybody's cool with that. I think that's the thing. Um, in fact, I was just, 20, 30 minutes ago, I was out in VR land. I was over in virtual reality just for kicks. And there's a meditation app on the Oculus storefront. I don't know whether it's available through like PC VR, etc. But it's a VR meditation app called Meloka or something. I mentioned it briefly in the VR video, and it's not bad. So I did a session of that. I was like, oh, I'll do some meditation in VR. Kind of fun. I wish they had more varied meditation environments. I haven't seen whether those change up yet. It's all been the same one. But it does the trick. It does the trick of sort of transporting you and calming you down a bit. So that's good. That was fun. And then I went into Beat Saber, which is a different vibe, but still a good one. Purple says hello again. Also, nice shirt. Well, thank you. I was looking around. I was grasping around. I was like, do I have anything at all that's vaguely islandy, touristy, etc., Hawaiian stuff? I do have a nice Hawaiian shirt somewhere, but I don't know where it went. I couldn't find it in the time allotted, so I went with this, and it's fine. It's fine. It's starting to look like this particular type of pattern shirt, the print shirt. I feel like it's starting to go out of style just a little bit. Maybe that's just my imagination, but I think it's on the way out. It was kind of like an early to mid 2010s thing, I feel. But I also don't know anything about fashion. Okay, Purple. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Wordle or if you heard me explaining the rules, but if you have a 5-letter word that you would like to guess, please let me know. Because I'm hesitant to do the first guess here. I want to see what other people can come up with. I'm going to need to get more water already. There's just... I don't know why my mouth is dry. Yeah. I think I usually go with, like, I don't know. Yours. That's one. Mourn. Learn would be a decent one. You get 2 vowels, you're guessing, as well as some common consonants. Nouns, I think I've tried, although that's bad. That's a bad first guess because it has a repeat letter. Found, that's 5 letters, right? F-O-U, yeah. That would be a good one. Let's try that. Let's try found. Let's see what we get. Okay, here we go. Okay. Not the worst thing, not the worst thing. Yeah, I also want to talk about what people have been watching lately today on the stream. So please, if you have, well, in general, if you ever have recommendations for stuff, shows or such you'd like to talk about, go for it. For some reason, I've been in a Spongebob mood lately. Oh, wait, now I remember why. It's because of that Spongebob reanimation project thing that was released recently, and it apparently had some difficulty getting shared online. Like, I think they got blocked or something, and I didn't go into all the details, but watching that recently has definitely reminded me of how much I'm into SpongeBob still. All the wonderful jokes in that show. Oh, gosh. Give me just a minute. I'm going to grab some more water already. Purple says, congrats on 800. Thank you. Are we holding steady at 800? I know I've lost a couple in like the last week or two. Okay. All right. Just have to drink a bunch more water. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Cool. But thank you again, Purple. Yeah, no, it's a nice milestone. Every milestone is a good one, in my eyes. We haven't quite hit the fabled 1,000 for whatever reason, but hey, we are getting awfully close. So maybe at some point we'll pick up some kind of momentum. It's been a while since there's been like a I don't know, a more intense stream of new subscribers. It tends to just be a trickle of like a few at a time usually. But there were a couple moments early on. Oh my gosh, that was more than 2 years ago now. Oh boy. When there would be quite a few at a time, maybe like, I don't know, 40, 50 at a time. And that always felt good because you kept thinking, oh, it'll keep rolling. It's a snowball effect, you know, you'll get a bunch more as it moves on. But that has not really been the case so far. Purple says, what made you decide to start showing your face? Yeah, good question. I mean, it certainly hasn't been a big decision. Like, it more or less came down to, I don't care. It basically came down to just, why not? I also think that, like, understandably so, plenty of people just, I don't know, feel more comfortable or engaged when specifically watching a stream that has someone's face. It maybe goes the same for videos too, but I definitely get it in terms of streams. Like, yeah, it's somewhat personal compared to a video. It's interactive, obviously, so it's kind of like you're having a conversation with someone. So for those reasons, I understand why that's become the absolute norm for the actual, you know, professional streamers and such. So that was all. Also, I just didn't have a good webcam for the longest time, and even this one's like decent, but nothing crazy. Also, I was on camera in the channel update video from a good while back, so after that especially, I was just like, yeah, who cares? Okay. I don't know what kind of mystique I was trying to cultivate, you know, with not showing the face. So I just didn't really care. And now I'm still not crazy about it. You know, it's not my favorite thing in the world to be on camera. But it's not like this is the most difficult thing to do. I'm not like acting. I'm not reading a script or anything. Also, I mean, I don't have the largest audience in the world, so it's not like I'm hyping myself up to be on camera in front of like 800 to 1,000 people. That's not really the case. It's like a couple dozen people will maybe watch the archive and stuff like that. So it's less intimidating that way. It also forces me to like kind of keep myself together. And like not just be a slob all the time and like, oh well, you are going to be on camera, so maybe do something about that. Change the look. Okay, so back to Wordle. We have 2 letters and they're in the right positions. So I was gonna say we could just do words that rhyme with found, but I don't think that's any good because O and D are not in the word at all. So that's just not gonna work out. I also should not assume that there's a vowel in front of you. So like brunt, is brunt a word? BRUNT. Brute is a word. Crunt. UNS could be good. Yeah. So how you doing, Purple? What have you been up to lately? What's going on? Tude says brunt is a word. Do you think it's worth a guess, Tude? Is that your official suggestion? Also, welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you back. Oh. Oh. How about this? How about this? Trunk. I'm feeling pretty good about trunk, personally. It's like a normal enough word, because when you play Wordle for a while, just about every time, once you finally get it, it's like, oh, that's such an obvious word. Like, it's nothing too obscure. And trunk feels very normal. Toot says, sure, the chat delay is pretty big. Yeah, that's true. Which is annoying. I don't know why. I guess I can change the latency settings while not during stream, but it never seems to help that much. It's kind of frustrating. Anyway, but let's try brunt just for kicks. Oops. You have to be in the right window, Mike. Taunt. That's also good. I'm gonna try. Yeah, you know what? Let's try taunt, because it seems like a word that more people would actually know. Okay. And there goes trunk too, because there's no T. Wow. What does PR get us? Pruns. We do have an S. I think the S would be pretty helpful for us here. But I'm still trying to think of things for that. Sorry, I'll just leave that up. I shouldn't be the one thinking really hard about Wordle right now. I have other things going on. Tude says shuns. Okay. Shuns is not bad. The only potential issue with shuns is that it's a guess that has a repeat of the same letter, which is completely valid. But if it ends up being wrong, like with taunt here, then we like missed out on another guess. But it does repeat sometimes, and that's what's frustrating. Ugo's here. Welcome back to the stream. Ugo says, I never learned how to spell. Fair enough. That would certainly make Wordle more difficult, I think. Unless you just had like a pocket dictionary. Remember dictionaries? Did you guys like own your own personal dictionary? I feel like for school one year, they told us that like a dictionary was part of the school supplies, which felt insane to me. That felt incorrect. Okay, so far, I mean, next up, shuns. That's a decent suggestion. So shuns is definitely what I'm considering right now. But if anyone has any other suggestions that you think would win out, you let me know. Anyway, how you doing, Ugo? How's it going? Has it been an okay week? Did you get to do any gardening? Toot says swung. I like that. You know what? I think we'll try swung. I like how that feels. Okay. All right, here we go. Ooh. Ooh. Very good guess. That was well done. Now if we miss it on this, that's very bad. Like, that's shame on us. Because if we just go letter by letter, we will get it. Or will we? Sung, spung, nope, not a word. Shung. Slung. Is it really slung? I mean, it has to be, right? I don't think there are any other words for us. Yeah, Tude says slung. Let's go with slung. Let's do it. Let's go. Yep. Well done. Well done, everyone, and specifically Tudes for the guesses. I haven't played on this computer before, so that's why we only have one game here. So now, if you want to hop onto the Wordle of the day, you can get it on the first try and look like a smarty. But yeah, seriously, well done. We did it. 4 guesses is not bad. 3 is like probably the best, that I've done. But 4 is pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. But that's the only one for the day, so now I have to find something else to put on the screen. What do you got here for me, computer? Anyway, but yeah, how's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? That's the one thing I'm asking of everybody today. It's just that they relax. Everybody's can be nice and relaxed. Everybody can hang out. It's a nice, easy day. I think for just about every time zone, the day's work is done. So there's nothing else to worry about. Just smooth sailing, easy times. Oh yeah, and Ugo, earlier I was saying to the stream that I was trying out this there's a free meditation app on Quest called Maloka. I mean, there's several, but like that's the one I've been trying out. It's okay. Have you tried that one out? Do you have any opinions to share on that one? Tude says, can you narrate an audiobook? I feel like your voice would be good to fall asleep to. No offense. No, don't worry. There's no offense to be taken there, I don't think. Yeah, no, I mean, I've actually considered voiceover stuff in general, not so much voice acting, because I don't think I can act, because I haven't done it, and I have no practice, and I don't think I'd be very good at it, and I'd really have to work at it. But no, I could, I could maybe do some VA stuff that's more flat. An audiobook in particular. Yeah, I was considering doing some audiobook versions of my books that I wrote. And I just never really got around to it. I also don't really have the best space for recording audio. I do my best to get it to sound decent, but like for professional work, it really wouldn't be suited. So, anyway, but thank you. And yeah, in terms of falling asleep, well, there you go. That's why you put on just the longer videos of mine. And you can just ignore the content and drift off to sleep. I'd be fine with that. I do that all the time with plenty of YouTube stuff in particular, or there's actually a great sleep podcast called Sleep With Me, and that guy has talked about how like a big motivator for making the show at all was just like, yeah, I have like a kind of boring voice, so it's helpful for putting people to sleep. But anyway, but no, thanks. That was very nice. It was very nice to say. Two says I'm on my 5th consecutive week of trying to get a PS5. Oh boy. Well, please. Well, I remember you mentioned previously the like moment where it was right within your fingertips and it got snatched away. So please give us like the continuation. This could be like a serialized webcomic or something, Purple says, did you solve the Wordle? We did. Check it out. We got it on the 4th guess. It was mostly Tude's doing. We got some really good guesses in there, and so then it was just down to the last letter, and we got it from there. So that was great. It was fun. Ugo says, I've never tried it. Did you say Moncoa? No, so it's called... I'll just type it in here. In the chat. Maloka. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, so I just go with that. But anyway, yeah, it's just free. I'm sure there are like freemium components to it because they try to get you to make an account, and I don't know why they would provide this completely for free. So there's some kind of, you know, ties. There are strings attached somewhere. But even just for the basic stuff, and you get your own little island kind of hub world to hang out in, and a little creature friend, even just that stuff's pretty fun. But yeah, I mentioned it because I was doing some of it like half an hour ago before I started streaming. Just as kind of a way to wind down from the workday, I think. But it's okay. It's worth trying out. But you know what's funny? So I've had this, you know, this headset for what, like a couple weeks-ish? Coming up on like 2 weeks. That's it. And obviously I talked about plenty of stuff in that video. But I don't know. I think I'm like officially a convert at this point. Maybe my opinion could still change later on. But for the moment, I really just find myself consistently excited about VR stuff, and that's not where I was at all a couple months ago even. So that seems kind of cool. That seems kind of positive, but I have really been enjoying the VR stuff so far, at least the handful of things that I've tried. So all of a sudden I'm in that world, and I'm trying to find out what the new games are, and even going on side quest here. In fact, I'll pull up side quest just for kicks, and show it in the window capture thing. I'll get rid of Wordle. Hold on. Side quest. There we go. So I'll explain and talk about side quest in just a second. But first, I want to fix this window because that's going to bother me. Okay, I'll talk about it in just a second. Also, I hope this doesn't show any personal information of mine. Okay. So, okay, Tude's got the next episode of PS5 Hunt for us. Tude says, nothing to report from the past 2 weeks. I went to the store on the day they received new shipments each week, but they haven't received PS5s since then. It's borderline impossible to buy them online. Oh my gosh. And I guess we talked about this before, but I thought they were doing the... I completely thought they were doing the wish list, not wish list, but wait list thing. And I guess they're not, or certain stores just gave up on it or whatever. It would be extremely frustrating. If I was in this, you know, trying to do the same thing, trying to get one, I would be extremely frustrated with the whole thing by now. It would just be way too much. But yeah, I'm just hopping onto eBay now to see what the prices are. Yeah, the lowest is like $700, which is still very stupid. Yeah, like up into like 800, 900, etc. It's not as crazy as it was, I guess, right at the beginning, but it's still very bad. This is the worst, is when people have pictures of like, I have 19 PS5s. Like, I just bought a ton of these. I am not being shy about how awful I am. Pay up or get out. Like, I'm not a fan of that at all. Anyway, and I'm kind of well, I guess I was gonna say I was kind of shocked that we haven't been seeing the used ones pop up yet, like the legitimately used ones that people just want to get rid of. But of course, anyone who has one is like, of course I'm holding on to this. Of course I'm hanging on to this thing. Uga says, what games do you want to play on PS5? Tude says it's like trying to get a Wii in 2007. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a whole different era for Nintendo. Tude says the only way to get on the GameStop PS5 waiting list is to sell your PS4 to them first. Yeah, I think you did mention that. Thanks for reminding me. Stupid. I thought Best Buy was doing a thing too, but I don't think so. I think I was just mistaken about that. But yeah, please, yeah. Did we talk already about some of the games that you wanted to get on there? Ratchet and Clank has certainly been one for me. I definitely want to check that out. Returnal, I suppose. Astro's Playroom, 100%. One of the best 3D platformers I've played in a long time. Ugo says, dude, I remember waiting in line to buy the Wii in a store and was like one of the first 50, and you just waited for 12 hours overnight. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really, like, it sounds overly simplistic to say, but this really shouldn't be an issue. Like, this really shouldn't be an issue. And I'm not saying that, like, obviously supply chain issues and the silicon shortage, transistor shortage, whatever, that is happening for very understandable reasons, and, like, that makes sense to me. But just in terms of, like, preventing scalpers, it should really not be an issue at this point, and I don't see stores making an effort to change that. Of course, they don't. Why should they be invested? Like, they don't care. They don't care because no matter what, they're making the sales. They're getting the money from that. So there's no motivation outside of, like, buyer backlash, I suppose, or prospective buyer backlash, would-be buyers. Yeah, but if I was actually engaged in trying to get one of these, I would be extremely frustrated, and I might have just given up at this point. Like, it's awful. Who says the Wii back in 2007? Yeah, no, totally. That was a big thing. I didn't end up getting a Wii. I just stopped with the GameCube, and that was about it. In retrospect, I wish I had had a Wii. That would have been great. And it would have sort of bridged the gap from the games I played as a kid to the stuff that I play now many years later. But yeah, it was scarce. It was probably artificial scarcity for the Wii at several points in time, which is awful. And yeah, it was legitimately a big deal. There was a massive amount of hype behind the Wii as well. Just the idea of, like, whoa, motion controls are the future. Tons of stuff for the casuals, and just, like, simulation kinds of experiences. Obviously, Wii Sports. So yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how it compares, like, how closely it compares in terms of sales numbers and stock to the current PS5 Series X stuff, but it feels very similar. I don't think scalping was as big a factor in that case either, in the Wii case, because, I mean, obviously those resale websites were out there already, especially eBay, but I just don't think people were finding ways to game the system like that quite yet. But no, it's totally a big thing. Thankfully, I was not dealing with it just because I wasn't really that excited about the Wii or whatever, so I didn't really do it. What is Pets VR? Tude says, saying to Ugo, no games in particular, but it plays PS4 games, as far as I know. I do want to try HDR movies. Yeah, that could be cool. That could be fun. Tude says, my dad bought me a Wii back then as a belated birthday gift. Oh, he had to wait in line outside a grocery store at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Wow. Oh my gosh. And I mean, the Wii did have a great library eventually, but so many of the people who wanted it, yeah, it was just that hyper casual market of, the moms, the elderly folks, etc. Obviously, there's no problem with that. It's great, that they were getting involved with that stuff. But I think that just increased the competition for actually grabbing them so much. You're not just talking about, like, kids who want to get them, kids who maybe don't even have the money at the moment. All of a sudden, every age demographic wants a Wii, so it's just going to be insane. Anyway. So I'm just, I don't know, just mindlessly cruising through SideQuest here. So if you're not familiar, SideQuest is basically, like, what do we say, an alternate platform for getting VR games. They are also, like, some stuff is linked to the official storefronts, and then other stuff is, like, stuff that's not paid, free stuff or demos, experimental games still in development, betas, things like that. And Yeah, you essentially transfer stuff to the headset from a download on your computer, and it manages that connection and things like that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed looking at stuff on SideQuest just because the variety is insane compared to what's on the official Oculus store. They also have App Lab games, which are essentially games that will be released on Oculus officially at some point, but in the meantime they're still under development, etc. So you can try them out for free, and it's pretty cool. And I haven't heard of Pets VR, but I want to watch the trailer here. Ugo says that you guys remember that about the story. Do you guys remember about the story about a mom who died trying to get a Wii? Oh my gosh. No, is that real or is that like an urban legend? She was playing a game called Hold Your Wii for a Wii and died because she held too long. Oh my gosh. So is that like one of those, like, I don't know, radio station competitions, or maybe like a local TV show was like, oh, don't go to the bathroom? Wow, that's weird. That's like, that really does sound like some weird sadistic death game from like a Korean or Japanese TV show. That's awful. I'm sorry. I'm not. It's sad. I shouldn't be laughing about it, but just like the strangeness of the situation is weirdly disturbing. Yeah. Tood says most of my time on the Wii was spent playing Medal of Honor Heroes 2 multiplayer. It was one of the last generations of big multiplayer shooters with no progression system. No progression. Wow. And I assume no loot boxes back then either. But then again, yeah, a Wii shooter. Were you actually using the Wiimote to shoot stuff? Because that's obviously very accurate and fast and fun. But yeah, seeing a multiplayer shooter where people are using the motion controls and Wiimote stuff would be... Sounds like it would be pretty intense, but fun. I played one of the Medal of Honor games, I guess one that was on GameCube, but I forget which one it was. And I don't think my parents were too happy about that. Ugo says, what about Halo 3? It did not have a progression system. Oh. And Ugo confirms, yeah, it was a radio show competition that woman died. Yeah, that's awful. That's terrible. Let's watch this trailer for Pets VR. Hopefully there's no, like, oh. This is loud. Very loud. Hold on. Sorry. That was very loud in my ears and also your ears. Check out this very cool home base for you and your pet. Okay. Oh. The graphics are not blowing me away. Okay, VR pet training. All right. Soon it'll be playtime. Sure. YouTube censored my red joke about hold your Wii for a Wii because it contained an extremely mild naughty word. Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is censorship in action. This is what we have to fight against. I know. It is frustrating that they have their, like, filter, and it seems a little overly aggressive to me. It also, like, I don't know. It would be nice if that's something you could kind of customize, right? And just be like, hey, on my channel, like... This is not a kid's channel. It's okay to have some more adult language. That would make sense to me, but yeah. Anyway. Hot and fresh. What are the hot and fresh side quest games here? Ascending Dojo. Alpha Tech Demo. So basically Avatar the game. Did you guys see the trailer for Avatar 2? Avatar... what's it called? Hold on. Way of the Water or something like that. Did you guys watch that? I watched it and was thoroughly underwhelmed. I don't know. I must be in the wrong. I want to see Crazy Cook. Dude says, pee your pants for a PS5. Right? The alliteration is just sitting there. It's just, come on. Ugo says, did Purple go to sleep? Possibly. Yeah, I started stream a little bit early, so I got to talk to Purple early on. But I think they might have tapped off, or tapped out. I think they're on a different time zone, so it's later. So, completely understand. Yeah, so what is this? Crazy Cook, early access, $10. Crazy Cook is a fun and cozy cooking game for the whole family. Space, exclamation point. If you need someone to do some proofreading, I will do it. You can pay me money. Your goal is to create great recipes. Sort of an ellipsis with a twist, space colon. The ingredients are a bit hostile. Ah. Peel or block smiling onions. Is that on purpose? No, I was gonna say maybe like oinkins. It's oink. Some kind of pun with pigs. I think they just spelled onions wrong. Okay. Room scale, standing. Ugo says, is that Jake's son? Did he have a son? Ooh, who's Jake? Which Jake? Uh-oh. I must be missing a reference. Jude says, I am totally committed to the Avatar cinematic universe. I'm hoping to get a lower back tattoo of Sam Worthington's blank face. Is that the name? See, this is the thing. I don't even know the name of either our lead character or the actor who plays our lead character. Nothing. Like you're saying, like, completely generic. And if they're getting it's the same guy who's coming back, right? Like, good for him. He's getting some work. That's fine. I also heard that they were potentially going to shift to a different time period in universe, so it's a completely different cast. I don't know. I'm literally just throwing up my hands because I do not know what anything about it. But yeah, I wasn't even in the original Avatar wave and the hype. Like, I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it IMAX 3D, etc. I watched it for the first time maybe in like 2016, 2017, and just thought, like, who cares, basically. Like, I was really not impressed with any aspect of it. Visually, it's very nice. I'm sure it was a very intensive process to create the visuals for the movie, but in terms of effect, I think it was very, very low. Anyway, meant Avatar. Hugo says, so the game to win the PS5 will be the person who is able to pee their pants the most? That's an interesting twist on the formula, but I hope they don't do that. I don't remember anyone else's name from Avatar other than Jake. Oh, so that's the name of our lead character. See, again, I don't know who these people are, who these blue monsters are. I don't know about that stuff. Ugo says, and I think that may be wrong. Oh, that Jake's name might be wrong? Or that something I said might be wrong, because that is certainly possible. Toot says, I don't even know if Sam Worthington is the actor. I know the character is named Jake Sully because my young cousins were obsessed with Avatar. Okay, that sounds right. Jake Sully. It's just a name, you know. I guess it's supposed to come across like a very normal name. So, fine by me. But yeah, no, I'm not personally a big fan of the Avatar, I would say, universe, but there is no universe yet. Hopefully the second movie will establish it. It's like, hey, we are doing something. There are intentions here. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not super invested. A great video that you might have already seen is Jenny Nicholson's video on Avatar World I guess it's at Disney World. I don't think they have it out here at Disneyland. But excellent video. And it really covers just this, pretty seemingly obvious concept now of, like, at one point the iron was hot to get some more Avatar stuff out there. And it's so far past that point that it seems baffling when they say that they're going to do anything else with it, whether it's merchandising a Disney park because they couldn't get Harry Potter or other movies. I just don't. And I don't think, I have no impression that, hold on, I know his name. James Cameron. Oh, he would be so sad if he knew that I almost forgot his name. I don't get any sense that James Cameron has the level of self-awareness to accept any of that or to realize that people don't actually care about it. Although, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll have a whole resurgence of popularity and the youngins will like it. I don't think so, but it's possible. It is possible. Toot says they may have been the only children in the world who actually cared about that movie for more than 5 minutes after the credits rolled. Well, hey, you know. Yeah, there you go. Different tastes. Purple says, oh, good. Purple's still here. How's it going? Purple says The Last Airbender or the movie with the blue cat people? Oh, we're talking about blue cat people. Although I also saw a game on here that is apparently closer to the show Avatar one. Also, this is one that I've been wanting to get, is this rock climbing, mountain climbing game. What else do we have here? Ugo says, can you remember any big scenes like in Star Wars? No, Luke, I am your father, but from Avatar. I see what you're saying. Like, are there any like big memorable scenes or sequences from the Avatar movie as compared to, yeah, like any successful movie like Star Wars? Yeah, there's so many memorable scenes and settings and characters in the Star Wars, like the original trilogy especially. And yeah, well, hold on. This will be fun. This will be like a quiz. Feel free to jump in, anybody, with like, what, just like gut reaction. What are some scenes from the first Avatar movie that are still in your brain, living rent-free? Like, what do you got? For me, it's mostly like stuff I think is funny. So the first time that Jake Sully, who is paralyzed below the waist, right, in his real body, first gets in his avatar, his blue cat person body, and starts running around, like, just with no regard for what's happening or the people around him. He's just running, which feels insane to me, but they wanted a sort of action sequence. So I sort of remember that because it's just goofy and dumb. And I think I also remember the first time that they're like flying around and you see the floating islands. I think I remember that too. But outside of that, it's just a blur of like, there's jungle and there's like the rest of the Na'vi, and then bad military man is there in like a mech suit. But does anyone else have anything? Purple says, I think I'm out, go to bed. Have a good night, everyone. A great night or evening or morning. Yeah, all in different time zones here. But thank you very much, Purple. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great night and a great weekend coming up here. Toot says the iconic scene in Avatar is Jake sticking his ponytail phallus into the horse thing. There was that. Yeah. There was that. They did ride those horses. Isn't there also an Avatar game in development? I remember they showed some kind of cinematics for it a year or two ago, maybe. Anyway, Ugo says, Disney made that whole park. They've sunk way too much money. They're going to make at least 2 more movies. Don't know if they're going to make the full 5 movies that were, yeah, those. He kept talking about how he had a whole thing planned. I didn't even believe that there was ever going to be a second movie. It's just been way, way, way too long. So even that is a bit of a surprise, and I'm slightly impressed. But other than that, I'm confused by the whole thing. And I don't know, like, it seems so simple to people like us who are not working in entertainment or theme parks. Like, it seems very obvious that Avatar is just not part of the zeitgeist and hasn't been for a decade or more. But I don't know. I think it just comes down to it's a recognizable property, and if you have a property with any level of name recognition at all, it'll probably get made. That's certainly what I feel is the case with that that animated Marmaduke movie that just came out on Netflix. Is that you're like, well, some people do know Marmaduke from the comics, and they know that name. And hey, it worked on me. I was like, okay, how bad is this going to be? And I watched the thing. So like it does do its job. I have a feeling this new Avatar movie will make a pretty decent amount of money, just because everyone's curious what's going to happen here, and also they want the spectacle. They want to see it in IMAX, 3D, etc. Like, they want it to be cutting edge visuals and all that stuff. So, but beyond that, any sequels I don't think would perform very well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dude says there was the pterodactyl creature. There's that too, for when they need to fly around, because there has to be like a natural world equivalent for all the military stuff. So like helicopters, we have these weird bird dinosaur things. You know, the mechs, oh no, it's just a regular Na'vi and their tall bodies, etc. What else we got? Ugo says the girl from Fast Cars movie. Oh yeah, when the PMC starts to attack the tree, she says I didn't sign up for this and flies away. Oh yeah, what's her name? I feel like her name is something really, really generic, like Diaz or something. Or am I thinking of Brooklyn Nine-Nine now? Ramirez or something. Like, it's a sort of typical last name. I sort of remember that. Beyond that, Tude says in the upcoming movie, Jake will make love to a big fish creature with his ponytail. I guarantee it, but don't hold me to that. Michelle Rodriguez is the actual name of the actor, but what is the character's name? See, I don't remember, no details. And I watched it, 3-4 years ago. Plenty of people haven't watched the movie since it came out in theaters. And I've got nothing. I have, just no memories. Took root, I guess. What else do they have on here right now? The Billie Eilish music pack, if you really want to get into that. Top selling. How about that? I mean, all of this makes sense, yeah. I do have Resident Evil 4. I've also been playing one called, what is it called? It is called Moss. They're getting ready to release a sequel to Moss called Moss Book 2, and it's like a little adventure game where there's a little mouse friend, and you control her, but you're also doing puzzles in the environment. So I got that. That was on sale. I've been playing Moss. It's not mind-blowing, but it is very well made. Like, it's quality production and everything. The characters are cute. The environments are lovely. So that one's been fine. But that was my most recent thing. Jude says the character has a name. I thought she was generic pilot lady. Yeah, she almost even feels like the that similar character from Atlantis, whose name I should remember, but she was like the mechanic, you know? And good with the machines and all that stuff. It really does feel like that character, doesn't it? Atlantis was great. I'm sure a million people have already made video essays about how great Atlantis is, right? I like putting the Animal Crossing music to the trailer for a weird fighty game. Okay, so it's like combat. Coliseum gladiator combat, I guess. With jokes. They're really trying with the jokes here. Yeah. I mean, okay. It didn't really sell me. Well, without audio, at least. It didn't really get me there. Why doesn't... Is there a back? Is this my back? Oh, why is it all the way up there? Yeah, people like this Blade and Sorcery game, too. Walking Dead game. Drunken bar fight. I just have to see the trailer for this. This is, come on. If that title doesn't get you enticed. Oh. I don't know if I want to get in a fight on an airplane. Is this like online multiplayer? Oh. Is that Dr. Phil? Ugo says she was the hard Tom girl that first showed up in Aliens 2. Yeah. Yes. Very, very similar character, as it turns out. Oh no, is this like some kind of trope? This character type that we're talking about? There must be something to that, huh? What are the other movies out right now? Does anyone care about or have they watched the new Doctor Strange movie, the yet another Marvel movie that came out? Has anyone seen that? Anyone have any hot takes to share? Because I certainly don't, because I haven't watched it, and I'm probably not going to go to a theater to watch it, but I'm vaguely interested in how other people feel about that movie. I almost said that game, but I don't think it's a game. Ugo says, yes, it's a trope. Let's check out TV tropes just to make sure. That's the tough thing, is like, if you don't know the name of the trope, trying to track it down is difficult, I feel. Dude says the only new movie I've watched recently is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was great. Oh yeah, the new movie from Daniels, the two guys called Daniel. Yeah, I do have a I don't know, a substantial interest in seeing that one. Probably not in a theater, but I will watch it. I'm okay with their directing style. The cast looks great. The weirdness seems very appealing. Seems very upbeat overall. So that sounds like a good fit for right now. And honestly, I was not... my hesitation for this new one, for Everything Everywhere All at Once, has been that I was one of the only people who didn't really like Swiss Army Man, like, much at all. I really, really wasn't a big fan, like, especially after all the hype. I just felt like, okay, guys, yeah, all right, but, like, there are fun ideas, but ultimately we're just in the woods and everything looks like junk, and I don't care. But I appreciate the creativity. I'm sure this is a fun movie. I've only heard very good things about Everything Everywhere. There's got to be a way to shorten that name, huh? EEAAO. Even that's bad. Even that's rough, huh? Yeah, I'm trying to think of like new releases I've seen. No, I think I mentioned this on the Discord, the Patreon Discord, that I'd watched The Batman. I watched that on HBO one day for some reason and had some not so great feelings about it. But I also don't want to ruin the fun, because clearly a lot of people have been enjoying that movie. That's A-okay. That's fine. So outside of that, nothing new. I can't think of any big new releases that I've been watching other than Marmaduke 2022. I watch a lot of stuff in general, but, you know, not new releases. So Hand Physics Lab doesn't look that great, so I'm kind of glad I haven't purchased that. Some of the sports stuff I feel like only appeals to me in a VR setting. Like, if I was playing on a regular gaming system, I would not care about the sports stuff at all. But here, it's actually kind of fun. Knock is pretty neat. I'll show the trailer for Knock. Although I think it's basically exclusively online multiplayer, which is not my thing. So no one's seen Doctor Strange 5. I didn't even see those Spider-Man movies, you know, those more recent ones that were coming out. In fact, I don't know if I've seen any full Spider-Man movie outside of Spider-Verse. So I'm not exactly an expert on that one. Tude says the actor who plays the husband character, I assume in Everything Everywhere, is the same guy who played Short Round in Temple of Doom. His performance was easily the best, and all of the main cast were great. Oh, wow. That is an interesting bit of info. For sure. It's also, it's trivia, but also the fact that it was like a really good performance is interesting. That's not something people necessarily expect from, lapsed child actors. I don't know what else he's been doing with his career, but yeah. Temple of Doom. I mean, I guess people generally have some strong feelings about Temple of Doom, whether positive or negative. What do you folks have feelings on Temple of Doom? Personally, it is my least favorite of the original Indiana Jones trilogy. I'm not counting the reboot one because that's worse, but yeah, of those three, Temple of Doom, I just don't have fun watching it, really, and that's kind of what I want from the Indiana Jones movies. It's just like, I just want to have a good time. That's about it. So, yeah, the weird, dark, depressing stuff. And it's not played for laughs. It's played pretty seriously, so it's not my favorite thing. But, yeah. It has some decent filmmaking, for sure, but, Spielberg, of course. Did we do top selling or most popular? I mean, it's a lot of overlap, isn't it? Ugo says, Vasquez always dies is the trope named after the woman from Aliens. That makes sense. Okay, so it's sort of similar to, just in general, characters of color getting killed off, especially in, horror movies and stuff. So that's part of it. But, yeah, the fact that, I don't know, it's a specific ethnicity, it feels so strange to make that a trope, and I'm sure it's not happening consciously, but that's not exactly an excuse. So I don't know. Dude says, I've always enjoyed Temple of Doom. It was much easier to enjoy as a child, but now I really have to work to ignore the bigotry. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of split. There's certain things about it that do feel very outdated in their handling of other cultural stuff. But then there are other aspects of it, for example, the famous, dinner scene, and they have the big feast with all these insane foods that they're not actually eating in India. And some takes I've heard on that is well, you know what? Indiana Jones in general is this is very clear and confirmed, is that it's homaging the action adventure serials of the 20s and 30s. And so it's sort of how one of those very old, outdated series would view foreign cultures. So from that angle, it feels like the movie is self-aware and yeah, this is obviously not supposed to be accurate. But despite that, for one thing, not everybody knows about that influence on Indiana Jones to begin with. And you can also just say that the actual effect of that kind of stuff is just a net negative in general. So I understand either side of that argument, I guess. But yeah, and in general, I don't know, what is even my favorite part of Temple of Doom? I guess the end when it's over. No, there's some stuff early on when they're doing their dungeon crawling stuff and they haven't found the weird torture death cult yet. That's kind of fun, and just classic Indiana Jones traps, and we gotta get out of this trap before we die. That kind of stuff is fun. But there really isn't that much of that. Yeah, so whatever. Where is the... Ooh, what is Hit the Arcade? That sounds fun. Also, the acting. What is her name? I forget the actor who plays the female sort of love interest in that one, but I'm not a fan of that performance by any stretch. So yeah, it's not great. Where's all the other categories? I want to look for Pixel Ripped 1995. Maybe I should look at this. Lots of music games. Hatsune Miku. No, I don't want social experiences, actually. Yeah. Blaze Rush. Star Trek. Sorry, I need to catch up here. Ugo says, well, the tough woman is hardly ever white because the white woman has to be very feminine. That's okay. I understand what you're saying there. I get that. I mean, obviously, I'm not agreeing with the the concept of boxing people in, but I understand that you're saying that those are the expectations, especially in slightly older movies. But then again, even in Aliens, we have Ripley, and I wouldn't say that she's like extremely stereotypically feminine. You know what I mean? I mean, I get she's an attractive person, I guess. So there's that. She's like slightly sexualized in the first movies, sort of. So there's that angle. But yeah, in general, for that trope, I totally understand what you're saying. Of like, we have to. That those traits can only be present in a woman who's already like otherized to a certain extent, who's distanced from the typical like European white traits or whatever what people consider to be acceptable traits. Something like that. It's all very strange, but and uncomfortable. What is Ven? Akron, Attack of the Squirrels, Rainbow Reactor Fusion. Toot says, "Hot damn, the censor bot is really restrictive." Oh no, what were you trying to? What awful word were you trying to say this time? Yeah, what is this random thing? Ugo says the actor says she was told to ham it up. And then she married George Lucas. Well, that is one career path, shall we say? So, go for it. Toot says, Ripley isn't stereotypically feminine in Aliens, but she does become a protective mother, which is a different feminine stereotype. Yep, that's true. You could say those traits are sort of like interrelated in a lot of bad media. But yeah, that's totally true. Boy, they really try to throw the parenting stuff on Ripley, don't they? Which is, I don't know, that never worked for me in Aliens 2. But I also didn't exactly like grow up with that movie, so it's not like I've seen it a million times. Okay, give me 1 minute. I need more water already. Can I just give me 1 second, and I'll come right back around. Okay. This is my high-tech camera privacy cover thing. Oh, hold on. Ugo says, sorry, she married Steven Spielberg. Very different, as it turns out, from marrying George Lucas. I mean, although both of them have more money than the world, especially George Lucas. Yeah, I don't know what I'm... Maybe I should stop being on side quest at this point. I don't know what I'm doing there. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably... I think I'll probably stream for another 20, 30 minutes, something like that. That's the plan at the moment. But yeah, again, I mean, this is obviously one of those streams that's just hanging out. Not trying to do anything super structured, so I hope it hasn't been too dull for anybody. Yeah, what else do I have here that I could throw up? Dude says it wasn't a naughty word that I used. It was a phrase that could be interpreted in a naughty way. See, that's where we start getting into some weird territory where YouTube's like, well, I have decided to interpret this in a way where it's like, you know, more adult / inappropriate, quote unquote, but not really. But that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I need to search this. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, someone outside is being very loud. Take it easy, fellas. This doesn't seem to be working. There we go. Oh. Okay, catch up time. Nicholas A says, have you tried Agar.io or Agario on Miniclip? I have not. What is that? Well, I'll hold on. I'll plug it into the internet and see. I assume it's an old Flash game. It is. Oh, a free multiplayer game. Uh-oh. Well, I don't like multiplayer games, but I will take a look. Miniclip is evolving and moving exclusively to mobile. What? Huh? Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. I'll leave it up in a tab. But there's a lot to absorb there for sure. Ugo says, are you going to play Beat Saber? No, I mean, not on stream. No. There are a lot of logistics to that would cause some problems, I think. First and foremost, that to stream the visuals from the headset to the computer so that I can then stream to the stream would take up a ton of my internet bandwidth, so it probably wouldn't be a good thing. Yeah, it probably just wouldn't be doable. But anyway, so definitely not today. I think it would be fun in general to try something like that out, but yeah, just the logistics is tricky there. So I've yet to really dive into that. How do I... Here we go. Cool. Okay. But yeah, Nicholas, yeah, let me know what that's all about. So it's like a golf game? Is that what I saw? And it's multiplayer only, I guess. But I'm not familiar with it. Shoot says, what does your channel logo image represent? I've always seen it as a weird thumb or a paper bag puppet. That's fine with me. Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't know whether it'd be too fun to explain. No. I mean, honestly, I just needed something in general. So there was that. And it was just like, oh, I'll do a little cartoony guy, a little face. That's it. But no, it's sort of the original intention was... so you know how... I hope this doesn't sound too harsh. We're going to try it anyway. So you know how plenty of channels, not just channels that cover animation, but just plenty of YouTubers of various channel sizes, they'll have like little cartoon versions of themselves that they'll put on screen instead of being on camera. So they have like a few different frames of this little character guy that's supposed to look somewhat like them, and you'll see them go through different motions and stuff and like little reactions like, oh, and now I say this part, and then we go to this, and that kind of stuff. So I've always hated those a lot, mostly because the vast majority of those little cartoon characters that I've seen are like supremely ugly, and I'm not trying to, you know, critique. I'm sure some very talented people drew them, maybe some fans drew them, sent them to those people. Like, it's a-okay. I'm not trying to tear them down, but like, yeah, I think a lot of them are very, very ugly. And I also think it shows like a lack of creativity to just be like, what if it's just me? What if I just put a little version of me on the screen? That sounds cool. And there are a couple of channels, specifically in like the YouTube animation space, that I really hate. And they happen to use these types of little cartoons. And so I thought it would be funny to kind of spoof that a little bit, or like mock it in my own private way by making this kind of ugly, like really hastily drawn little cartoon guy. So that's what I did. And it took basically no time. And I just started using it as the thing. It was also kind of an evolution of the copyright bots, which I used to use back in the day, which I would just put little, you know, cartoon guys on the screen to cover up the image enough that I wouldn't get copyright claims on videos, which sometimes worked and sometimes did not. But anyway, that was the original origin. Now it's just like something I can have, just some kind of logo thing. I don't really think about it too much, but yeah. So that's that. Nicholson says, free for all Hungry Hungry Hippo. Really? That's what the game is? I love Hungry Hungry Hippo, and I never owned it. I never owned the actual board game growing up, and I will right now Google it to see how much it costs. They also have those big versions of Hungry Hungry Hippo in the arcades that I've never actually tried out, but it seems like that'd be pretty fun. Is the like vintage one better? Because if the new one's cheap and bad, I don't want the new one. Gotta go to eBay. Vintage Hungry Hungry Hippo. Oops. So. What is this? Go away, pop-up. What? Stop. From 78 or 86, they're not sure. That one costs $50. Wow. $25 for one from 2000. Here's the one with the original box, and the box is absolutely destroyed. Oh yeah, there's a little tiny travel version. Maybe I should grab that. That would be kind of fun, and it wouldn't take up too much space. Anyway, sorry, that's Hungry Hungry Hippos. Ugo says, it's a happy coconut. Oh. Wait. Who's? The hippos? The mini-clip game? Sorry, the lag is bad, so I lose track. Dude says, well, what does it mean? The little cartoon? It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. It means whatever you want it to mean, you know? Whatever you think it is, that is exactly right. That is the answer. Has been the answer all along. Oh, this one's $5. I could grab that. It's a little tiny one. Do all of them have the bubble over the top? They don't. I definitely want one with a bubble over the top of Hungry Hungry Hippos. That immediately makes it more interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, because then it's like a contained space. Yeah, I might get this actually. Yeah. Anyway, this is not super important right now. Oh, Nicholas is saying the channel icon looks a little like a coconut. I see. I see. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just like a red coconut. Also, the color doesn't matter. Like I've wanted to do some different like color variations of it just for fun. I think that'd be kind of neat. Mousetrap. That was a good one. I think we did have Mousetrap, but we eventually lost some of the pieces. How many balls does this Hungry Hungry Hippos come with, though? I feel like that's kind of important. They do not give me a lot of information there. Guess Who. There was a great Guess Who computer game at one point. That was pretty fun. I did. I promise I did. Maybe this? Hang on just a second. Oh, not working. No. Let's see if this worked. Sorry if you're hearing some loud sounds right now. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'll turn down the... Oh. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get this thing sorted out. I've decided to close out the Beach Week stream. Said I'm just going to do some designy stuff in the old Zoo Tycoon. But it takes a little bit to get that set up. Preform game, please. These are ugly. These are very ugly. Okay, just one moment. Give me a moment. Options. Window mode, please. That's much better. Okay. Now I can actually do some stuff here. What did I miss? Tude says, I'm deeply disturbed by your ambivalence about the true meaning of the channel icon. I feel like my world is shattering. Good. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Yeah, no, you know, maybe it's better to keep the mystery, right? There's mystique around it. Who knows? Who knows what it really means? But we can speculate for a long time. Sort of a troll move. That's sort of what, this is a weird reference, but it's sort of what James Joyce was doing with, there we go. Oh, it's too large. Sort of what James Joyce was doing with Finnegan's Wake, apparently, which is a notoriously difficult book to sort of read and interpret and all that. And apparently, yeah, that was part of his intention, was just to, like, mess with people, basically. And be like, yeah, look, you know, the scholars, everybody's going to be wondering about this, what it all means for decades to come, and that is exactly what has actually happened. So it's kind of funny. Oh, good. Keyboard works too. Yeah, I just want to do, like, some aesthetic stuff here. I'm not trying to... Uh-oh. I might have clicked a different program, and I don't want to open anything else up. Nope, nope, nope. But I'm sorry if your world is shattering in a bad way. That was not my... not exactly my intention. Oh, these controls are a little rough. Pathways. Do I have everything unlocked? I don't think so. Okay. Okay. That looks fine. But anyway, yeah, if anyone has any, you know, as always, if you have any recommendations, things you've been watching lately, please let me know. Things you would like to discuss. Also, if anyone else has watched, what is it called? If anyone else watched the Spongebob reanimation project thing, please let me know how you felt about that. I do think that's one of the more interesting things that I've watched in recent memory, sort of, at least in the last few months, you know. But yeah, did anyone else check that out? It is just on YouTube, so That's kind of nice. We need a lot of ferns. I'll probably put the ferns in later. Yeah, once I have like more trees down and such, it would be good to put those down. I already have a durian tree. Yeah. Wow, that's kind of all of our trees, isn't it? Where are the really big giant trees? Acacias, or however that's pronounced. Those are pretty big. Sorry, I think I'm missing something in the chat. Ugo says, tiny happy cosmonaut coconut. It would be good with a little helmet. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll put a little helmet on there. Like a retro space helmet kind of thing. Yeah, that'd be fun. Tude says it's like seeing the true face of God and then having him say, what are you looking at, loser? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to give you a dismissive vibe. That's certainly not what I'm trying to do. But yeah, no, honestly, like, I know it's an unsatisfying answer, but no, I there's no big meaning behind it. In general, like visual branding, stuff like that, I'm not especially good at it, really. Like, I know what I like in that area, but I'm not especially good at like actually executing stuff. I don't have tons of proficiency in like visual arts kinds of things, and I don't have like the money to commission work from someone who does really know about that stuff and who's very talented in those areas. So I'll usually just end up doing whatever I can, basically, and hoping that everyone's okay with it. So yeah, I apologize if that sounds very underwhelming. But that is the reality of it for sure. And I don't know, like it's one of those things where I'm not even super like invested in it as it is now. So I would totally consider just doing something completely different all of a sudden. You know, just having a different design. Changing the channel name is something that I shouldn't do very often at all, because that could just get confusing for people. But the little icon, like, you can just kind of change that all the time, and I don't think you'll lose or confuse too many people. So, you know. Oh, a little bonsai. How nice. But yeah, that's honestly, like, I wouldn't even call it a story. That's the story behind the thing, but it's really not too much to it. Ugo says the frog show is going to end this week. Oh. What's that? I feel like I should know what that is. Oh, like Amphibia? Dude says, don't get me wrong. It's masterful visual branding. Well, okay. But I always assume there is a deeper meaning behind it. I mean, I'm sure I could come up with something. But that would feel misleading to me if I was just, like, inventing lore. Although that can be kind of fun, too, you know. It's just like, there's, like, secrets. There's lore to, like, other aspects of the channel. Something I've been doing for a little while now, and, you know, maybe it's obvious, or maybe some people haven't quite noticed it, but, like, I do like to hide extremely tiny text in thumbnails, because you're usually not seeing thumbnails very large. I mean, hence the name thumbnail. So yeah, sometimes I'll have, like, the actual text you're supposed to read, and then as tiny as I can get it, I'll have some other text hidden somewhere in the image, or just, like, more or less in plain sight, but too small for anyone to really read. And I think even when you try to download a thumbnail from YouTube, I think it even lowers the resolution. So even if someone downloaded it, it would be pretty difficult to actually read what's there, probably. But it's a fun thing for me. I enjoy, you know, knowing that there's, like, more there. It's often, like, pretty blunt information about, like, what the video is. So I've enjoyed that. Maybe I'll keep doing that kind of thing. Also, in some videos, every once in a while, I'll kind of hide something just for my own amusement, basically. But yeah, we'll see if I come up with anything else there. But or if anyone else has ideas, hey, feel free to throw them out. What else am I trying to put in here? We definitely need some benches, so people can enjoy the beautiful scenery that I've just created. Rainforest torches, of course. Why not? Put some next to the trees. There's no night cycle in this game either, so I don't know why they... Oh, undo does not work. Uh-oh. Where's undo in this game? Uh-oh. I guess I could just remove it. Rainforest pond. Is there anywhere to fit it? Around the edge? But that's over the path now. Looks terrible. I need to get rid of that right away. Sorry. Sorry, I should catch up on chat. Two says, I genuinely think it's effective branding. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. As silly as it is, I always recognize your channel logo in the constant stream of videos that has helped my grain. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, certainly in terms of putting the logo on the thumbnails, I do think that's just generally a good idea, regardless of what the logo actually is. And plenty of other, I mean, you know, I didn't come up with that. Plenty of other channels do that stuff all the time. But I do think it's a decent choice for that kind of thing. For branding purposes, I suppose, although I kind of hate the word branding at this point. This is nice. And then we could also have a wall like, yeah, this actually looks kind of good. Fill this in. Don't want to trap the people sitting on the benches. I hear that Disneyland doesn't have enough benches these days. They just want to keep people moving along. What's that about? Let people sit down. I feel like it should be illegal not to have a bunch of benches in an amusement park. Pew. Pew. Yeah. Ah, this is kind of nice. Anyway, I wonder what happens if I just have no real attractions, but I put down some like food and stuff. Will people show up? Here, I'll just make like a little plaza of food stalls. And that'll be our zoo. Asymmetrical, it has to be just perfect. Okay. Yeah, like let's just pop down. Here's a bathroom, that's important. I don't have any real food stalls yet. Here's a cotton candy place. Here is nachos. We need a drink stand of some kind. Uh-oh. Here's a vending machine. Oh, zoo open. Okay. Anyway. Ugo says, yes, Amphibia, a video labels good show, but then gives your own take. Will be helpful and may get lots of views. Oh, if I like cover the end of Amphibia or something. That's true. Yeah, I just made that one video about it, and I have not kept up with the series. I know they really did go headlong into like lore and complicated story stuff and things like that, which is fine, but at the time it really wasn't what I was feeling. It's not the kind of thing I wanted to watch at that moment. But yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably have to catch up on what 2 or 3 seasons, something like that. So it'd be a little bit of watching, but that would be interesting. Look at he says, I liked what he said. When it's a caricature, there's still a sense they're trying to benefit from their physical appearance. When it's an animal, it seems like it's avoiding the issue, so it's a spoof. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing is like, yeah, maybe some people are trying to benefit from their physical appearance, but honestly, and like, I'm really not trying to be like mean, but there are times where like I just think, what did you see in your general look that you thought was so valuable that it had to be recreated in the cartoon form? I just don't, like, it's just a personal preference thing. And I mean, obviously I'm not naming specific channels or anything because I don't, you know, I don't want to be mean, and this is also not a good reason really to critique a channel. So And also, they're very popular channels. Like, it's clearly not an issue for most people. It's just like a little annoyance thing for me, I guess. And the answer is no. No one will come to your zoo if you don't have a zoo. So that's good to know, I guess. I do like my tree island. We could make it an island, even. We could do some, like, terraforming stuff. Salt water, just so that no one can actually drink it. Look at this. Wow, this is like a pleasant little... And then maybe I'll do just a bit of sand. Can I do it in here too? Yeah. Concrete. Who wants concrete in their zoo? This is not bad. This is not the worst thing I've done in Zoo Tycoon. Aha! Okay, what time is it? Oh, I'll stream for a tiny bit longer, another 10 minutes or so, I think, and then I'll hop off. Tube says it's a content delivery blob with the face. There you go. I'd like to think some of my stuff is self-aware in terms of the world of content creation things, though I rarely do outright, like, parodies. In fact, that's what I would call my, my inside job video, and the creature in that, the weird, like, ugly cartoon creature that shows up in that, is the most direct spoof I've attempted of those, like, channel creator cartoon guys, which I thought was very funny, but also probably didn't come across very clearly. Also, like, the weird sarcastic enthusiasm slash disregard I have for inside job, a lot of that came from watching videos from some other channels who were hyping it up to an incredible degree. Like, I wasn't trying to make people bad for liking the show or anything. It might have come across that way, or, like, you know, I wasn't trying to get down on the show in general, but just, like, specifically some channel people who were just like, this is the best thing ever. I was like, are you kidding? Like, what are you talking about? So even when I try to do, like, more satirical stuff, I worry that it's not very clear, maybe just because I'm not especially good at that. So it's definitely a concern, and it's something that's kind of prevented me from doing similar stuff since then, I guess. But anyway, that's that whole situation. Okay. Well, that's that. 0 guests. Hugo says they don't make money if people are just sitting. In my zoo? Sorry, again, the lag. I wasn't quite sure which it was referencing. Anyway, Nicholson says camping out on benches with food and merch and prizes sprawling everywhere was one of the best parts of amusement parks. That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, certainly if you could, like, get a bench spot in an amusement park, that was a pretty big deal on any given visit, and you, like, wouldn't want to give it up or anything. And I was never one to, like, you know, get a bunch of food and stuff at amusement parks, because it was always so expensive just to get in that I was like, nah, I can't spend money. I can't spend $15 on, like, French fries at the amusement park. But I'm from the East Coast too, so, like, amusement parks were not a year-round thing for me. You know, it was just the summer. That's the only time they were open, so that was the time you would go. You have your fun, and then wait through the winter, the rest of the year, for them to open back up again. But yeah. Tube says your inside job video is how I found you. It made an impression. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it made some kind of impression, even if it wasn't, like, you know, the greatest thing. But yeah, and in general, I do want to, like, I do want to keep up the energy to do some more creative stuff for, you know, vaguely humorous stuff and all kinds of different things. But it does take a lot of energy to come up with ideas and, you know, actually execute. So a lot of the time I'll pad things out with just, here's a video of me talking about something, nothing too complicated. So I hope that's okay. But yeah, I do enjoy doing things that are a little bit more creative and interesting. Require a bit more work on my end. It's just a matter of scheduling and time and effort and stuff. So, and having the idea in the first place. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone needs updates or anything, but yeah, working on a couple things. I'm finally trying to write a script for a pretty big video and a vaguely serious video, unfortunately, about the game Going Under, which is a great game and very lighthearted game. And that studio, Aggro Crab, recently released their second game, which is Another Crab's Treasure. It was featured in the recent Nintendo Indie World thing. But I really like that studio. I think they have some of the best comedy writing and also just great gameplay and environments and visuals. And I've wanted to talk about Going Under for a long time. It's made the rounds sort of in the area of reviews and video essays and such. Yakko did a pretty good video on Going Under. But yeah, I don't know. I have some things to share about how the game relates to startup work environments that I previously had experience with, and general discussions that we're starting to have about jobs and bad jobs. So I'm actually trying to write a script for it. I haven't used a script for a video for a very long time. We'll see how that goes. I'm not crazy about it being a little bit more serious, but I kind of feel like it has to be. But beyond that, yeah, there's some new things coming out that I would like to cover in some form, so I will maybe do that in the near future. And then I'm sure there were other videos that are already in the works that I've forgotten about, but we'll get them done. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, honestly, I think I'll probably wind down the stream now. But it's been a fun one. I hope everyone's taking the opportunity to relax a bit, take a bit of a break from the normal grind and such. As I said at the top, that's definitely something that I've been needing lately, so I hope it worked out that way. Yeah, other than that, we'll see when I do another stream here on the channel. Over on the Patreon, I've been doing streams every other week on Saturday mornings. Well, Saturday mornings for me. And that's been a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying those. Last time around, we watched the Steven Universe movie together. That was pretty great. I hadn't seen it for a long time. And we'll do other stuff. Maybe do some game stuff on there too. But yeah, this is this for now. I will put out some more videos as soon as I can. And yeah, as always, if there are any recommendations or specific things that people would like to see or people would like to talk about on the channel or streams, etc., just let me know any way you can. Also, quick PSA, I haven't noticed whether this has been a problem on the channel. I assume not, but someone can let me know if the case is otherwise. Apparently there's been some bots that are like posing as creators and commenting on videos and stuff. That's not something I've seen, but some channels have been having trouble with it. I haven't been in the comment sections for a long time, so hopefully this isn't happening with my channel. But like, if you see a bot that looks like the channel logo or something and they're saying some weird stuff, it's honestly not me. I haven't like replied to comments for months and months and months. So please just be aware of that if it comes up. But again, I don't think it's the most common thing in the world. It's just I became aware of it recently, and I wanted to mention that. That's about it. Yeah, Toot says good night, everybody. Yeah, I mean, same here. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the stream live. Thank you to anybody watching the archived version later on. And yeah, I mean, I hope everyone has a great evening and a lovely weekend. But that's all for now. So thanks for stopping by.